Hi, I'm Alistair from Where Can I Live? Today we'll explore the Portugal D7 passive income visa with the latest 2022 requirements. We'll look at key features, who qualifies and how you can ensure your application is successful. All the information in this video has been verified by our Portugal immigration lawyer partner Anna. She's a D7 visa expert with years of experience bringing global clients to Portugal. If you want a shortcut to your D7 visa, please click in the link in the description below to book an appointment with Anna and her team today. Here are the 6 most important things to note about the D7 visa. Firstly, the D7 visa is a long-term Portuguese residence permit, and any non-EU citizen over 18 can apply. Secondly, you'll need to show that you can support yourself and any other family members that you include on your visa without working. We'll cover the latest up-to-date 2022 financial requirements in detail later in the video. Importantly, there is no restriction on work or study in Portugal on the D7 visa, but any income that you earn from this won't count towards your qualification. There is a residency requirement and you'll need to live in Portugal for a specified period each year. Again, we'll look at this requirement in detail later. The D7 is an excellent pathway to Portuguese citizenship and an EU passport after just 5 years. And finally, at number 6, you may be eligible for Portugal's famous tax status of non-habitual resident, or NHR, and that means paying 0% tax on any foreign income for up to 10 years. Well, let's start with the name. What exactly is a passive income visa? Passive income means that you must have enough money to support yourself while living in Portugal. Importantly, although there is no restriction on working in Portugal, you must meet the financial requirements without including any present or future work income. So where is the money to support yourself meant to come from? Well, the most popular source is pensions or annuities, and that's why the D7 visa is often referred to as the Portugal Retirement Visa. It is the best option for many retirees. An exception may be retirees who are planning on buying a qualifying property in Portugal. For that group, a Portugal Golden Visa may be a better option. But it's not just pensions. Investment income qualifies. So that could be rental income from a property in Portugal or overseas, interest on savings, bonds, dividends from shares or unit trusts. Other examples include royalties or trust fund disbursement. All these sources have one thing in common. You're not actively working and being paid for that work. If you are earning income from work, you can't count it towards your financial qualifications. So how much income do you need in 2022? Well, there's a published figure and the day-to-day reality. Our expert D7 partner advises that the Portuguese Immigration Service looks at your entire application. So as well as meeting the published income figures, you should make a deposit into a Portuguese bank account in your name before you submit your application. The Portuguese government sets a minimum wage which is adjusted each year and bases the D7 financial requirements on this figure. The lead applicant needs the equivalent of the minimum wage to qualify. You'll need to show income for any others included on your application. Dependent adults require 50% of the minimum wage, and any dependent children need 25%. So the 2022 minimum wage is €705 a month, or €8,460 a year. And this is up around €500 on the 2021 annual figure. So a single person should show annual income of at least €8,460. If you include a dependent spouse, you add on €4,230, and each dependent child an additional €2,358. Importantly, you can pool any qualifying income with anyone on your application. A note from our partner on how the Portuguese Immigration Department look at income. They want to see that the income is stable and likely to continue for the life of the visa. And Anna and her team can help you present your income documentation in a way that meets this expectation. You should include evidence of all sources of qualifying income on your application. Importantly, the embassy will look at your situation as a whole, and every little bit does help. Your income, saving, and motivation letter will help to achieve the right outcome. And to loop back to that advice on the lump sum deposit, Anna suggests the amount you deposit into your Portuguese bank account should be at least the total income requirement for all the people included on your application. And what if you don't have one of these income sources but do have significant savings? Well, our expert immigration law partner confirms you can successfully apply showing just savings in a Portuguese bank, but it does need to be a significant amount. If you are in this category, we strongly suggest meeting with a D7 expert to plan your application. Right, so you're a non-EU citizen with enough incomes or savings and you want to live in Portugal. What are the next steps? Well, there are two parts to the D7 process which have different requirements. Step 1 is to submit your application for a D7 visa to the Portuguese consulate in the country you are living in. You cannot complete this step in Portugal. And there are 6 things you have to submit to the consulate. The first is your completed D7 visa application form. The second is a personal motivation letter outlining why you want the visa and why it should be granted. The third is proof of qualifying income and your financial position. Fourth, the statement from your Portuguese bank showing an account in your name with the qualifying deposit. And fifth, you must have proof that you have somewhere to live in Portugal for the length of the visa. Lastly is your application fee, and this ranges from $100 to $150 depending on which country you apply. The consulate will then assess your application and communicate their decision to you. Once you have their approval, you have 120 days to move to Portugal, and then you have step 2. Step 2 is an appointment with CEF, the Portuguese Immigration and Border Service. CEF will actually issue you your 2-year residence permit and ID card. You'll need 2 additional things at this appointment. The first is a valid health insurance policy to cover you until your residence permit is granted. This can be travel insurance, expat health insurance, or local private health insurance from a Portuguese firm. The second thing is police records from any country you've lived in over the last 5 years to show no disqualifying criminal record. A quick note on the documentation. Everything must be translated to Portuguese by an approved translator. Some copies need to be certified with the apostille process, and some must be originals. Get any of this wrong and your application will at best be delayed or even rejected. Good immigration lawyer will help with each requirement and make sure it is correct before it gets submitted. So how do you apply for your Portugal D7 visa? As we said elsewhere, there's an easy way and a hard way. The easy way is to use an excellent Portuguese immigration lawyer to manage your application. And see below for our recommendation of a brilliant D7 expert law firm. If you prefer the hard way, there is no restriction on completing the application and submitting it yourself. Remember, you cannot make the initial application in Portugal. You need to go to the nearest embassy or consulate in the country you are living in when you apply. So an American citizen who is legally resident in Brazil would apply at the Portuguese consulate in Brazil, not in the USA. Once you submit your application, your local embassy and consulate will assess your application and make a decision. This could take as little as 4 weeks or as much as 4 months, depending on when and where you apply. If you get any of your documentation wrong or if there's a problem with your application form, this could blow out considerably. Once your visa has been granted, as we said, you have 120 days to land in Portugal. And once you arrive in Portugal, you'll need to get your residence permit from CEF. Your immigration lawyer should be able to assist with this process, and our recommended partner certainly does. How long is your D7 visa valid? Well, the initial visa is valid for 2 years. The Portuguese government recently increased this up from 1 year. And after the first 2 years, you can apply for additional 3-year extensions. Remember, after just 5 years, you can apply for Portuguese citizenship and an EU passport. And what is the residence requirement for the D7 visa? There is a minimum time you must live in Portugal. Each year you must spend at least 4 months in the country. In addition, you may not spend more than 6 consecutive months outside Portugal. The exact quote from the CEF website is, "Residence authorization may also be cancelled if the interested party, without justifiable grounds, is absent from the country for 6 consecutive months or 8 non-consecutive months during the entire period of the authorization's validity." So if you have a really good reason for not meeting the requirement, make sure you get advice from a D7 expert before you try to renew your visa. That's our guide to Portugal's D7 passive income visa. Thanks for sticking with us. If you have any questions, please contact us or leave a comment and we'll answer as quickly as we can. There's a link to our comprehensive D7 article and lots of other resources for you in the description below. If you like this video, then please click the like button and subscribe to our channel. We'll have more videos coming soon to help you move abroad. Obrigado.